Hello, thanks for tuning in. Covering Peter's call from the line, 18th of February 2024. It's quite a long call, so I'm not going to do all of it. But essentially, he's calling from Sweden. He's a Christian, and he's calling to say effectively that he believes in the Bible, he believes in Jesus. It works for him, it makes him feel good, it gives him hope. Matt asked him whether it was just some structure which was helpful to him, and it didn't matter whether it was true or not. Peter said, well, he's hoping for life after death, so yeah, it does matter that it is true, but he couldn't demonstrate that it's true. It's just a feeling that he's got, and it works for him. And they went through Pascal's wager. It was pointed out to him that he might be backing the wrong god, and he accepted that point. He basically rolled over on every single point that the host made. And we're going to join the conversation maybe 10 minutes from the end, where Matt is commending him for his honesty, but effectively saying to him, yes, you're being honest, we appreciate that, but you still don't have any good reasons for your belief, so why? And let's go from there.
Well, I was about to move on because I appreciate all the honesty, but basically, to quote Stevie Wonder, when you believe in things that you don't understand, then you suffer. And you're basically advocating for believing things you don't understand. But now we've moved into a new area where you are, because you have certain political views that you feel are best represented by, I guess, Jesus. That's why the Jesus story or the Jesus character and all that stuff is more appealing to you, without trying to turn this into a let's keep Peter on for 12 hours and bash everything that he holds. What would you say is like your number one political position that makes you feel like the version of Christianity you're accepting is right and consistent with your political view?
I think it's definitely turn the other cheek. No joke.
That's a political view?
Well, in a way, I'm very against war, for example. I
Have you ever heard of the Crusades, Peter? Do you know that Christian nations have probably waged more war, and often in the name of religion, than any other belief system?
I have always been a pacifist. For me, that's been a very hard thing to. I have a dad that's a military guy, and my mom is in the military. I've grown up in a military family. I've been all over the world because of that, and I have been very privileged in that way. But it's also something that have made me very secure. That's like being a pacifist is the right way. It's like turn the other cheek. Actually, love your neighbor as yourself, as it says in the Bible.
So if he's a pacifist, I'm assuming that he thinks that his nation, Sweden, should not have an army, should not be a member of NATO, should not defend itself if it's attacked.
And that's so important for me.
Well, the Bible has a particular understanding of neighbor, and in the Bible, God commands the Israelites to basically run around waging war on a number of different groups and completely slaughtering them and taking their stuff. The Hittites, the Midianites, the Amalekites.
Yeah.
So if you're a pacifist and love thy neighbor and turn the other cheek, that's about who. So within Christianity, generally your neighbor is other Christians, and that you're not supposed to have communion with the heathen that surround you. You're supposed to buy your slaves from the heathen that surround you. But even Jesus doesn't advocate for pacifism. He literally handcrafts a scourge, leather straps with glass particles in there to make a scathing whip, and runs through the temple violently beating all the moneylenders. What on earth makes you think that this Bible or this Jesus character is remotely a pacifist?
Yeah, no, that's a good question. I think I'm more focused on like when he says what is the biggest commandment. He says like love God and love thy neighbor, and I've taken that as being nice to someone else and not kicking them or killing them or something like.
Well, being nice to your neighbor is one thing, but defending yourself in times of war is not really contradicting that, I think. And he's already said that he's a pacifist, and he interprets turn the other cheek as promoting pacifism.
Like that.
Here's a weird little thing, because you went with something that I've heard many times and that I used to say myself, which is, it occurs in, well, I don't know if this one occurs in several places, but this one definitely occurs in Matthew, I think chapter 22, because it's not in the Sermon on the Mount. But when he's asked, and he says, what's the greatest commandment? And he says, thou shalt love the Lord thy God with all thy heart, with all thy soul, with all thy mind. Here's my thing. Okay. You should definitely look up secular humanism. And there's 3 different secular humanist manifestos that go through the principles of this. But let me finish this. When Jesus says the most important thing is to love the Lord thy God, why is that the most important thing? How can it be the case that the most important commandment is to love something that you can't demonstrate exists, you don't know exists, does not interact with human beings at all? How does that take priority over treat people with respect and dignity? How does that take priority over don't own people as property? How does that take priority over don't wage war and terrorize people and kill them all, but keep the virgin girls for yourself and your friends?
Yeah. Okay. Well, obviously, from what I've read and understand, it takes priority because that's how you control people. If you are saying that an invisible God or an evil dictator like Hitler or Saddam Hussein is to be loved above members of your own family, to the extent that you'll betray them and inform on them, then you can get people to do anything. And I think it's probably as simple as that.
Yeah. No, I totally get it. That's a very good point.
I wonder if he does totally get it.
And one of the things I really want to say, and then I will go.
Yeah, this is what I mean with Peter. He's rolling over on everything. He's not pushing back on anything at all. I actually like it when Christians come on, they're challenged, and then they push back. It's like he's just accepting one point after another. He could actually defend these positions, and he's not. He's just rolling over. I mean, I don't think that there are effective defenses against any of these points, but it would be nice to see somebody at least try.
It's one of the things I hate most about religion.
Now, he's about to redeem himself.
Is how bigoted people get, especially against like trans people, and that aspect of it as
Bravo.
well.
Bravo.
It hurts me very much to see that people use God against.
Okay, so he's completely and utterly irrational. He's rolled over on all his points. He realizes, he may realize, but he's not going to do anything about it, that he's got no good reasons at all to believe in his religion. He's been completely debunked. But at least he's not a bigot. At least he doesn't hate trans people. And I think that he's going to redeem himself here.
People that are trans, and I am saying this because Katie is here, of course, and I love her to bits. I've seen her loads on YouTube and things like that, and I just want to, from my part of religion, apologize for what Christianity has done.
Give him a hug. Give him a big hug. He said all the right things.
To people like that.
I don't think you need to apologize, Peter, because obviously you're a nice person, but also you can't apologize for it because, you're saying you believe in it, but also some of the bits of it are bad and stuff. And then you kind of saying sorry for it doesn't, I mean...
What he's saying is, look, I appreciate that Christianity is a shit religion. There's nothing really to recommend it. It's a hive for bigots. But actually, I'm a nice guy. I'm not a bigot. I love trans people. So let's all be friends, but I want to keep believing the bullshit that I believe.
You haven't like atoned for it. I'm not saying your apology's rubbish. Thank you for your kind sentiment. But at the same time, like, this religion is totally out of your control. And it's a huge force, and it evolves very slowly, though it does evolve. And
okay, well, that's enough. In my view, listening to Peter's call, he's a very irrational person. He's weak as well. He's very weak-willed. He won't even try to defend his position. And in the end, all he's done is pander to Matt, because he knows what Matt's position is on certain issues, to score a few brownie points so that he can walk away, feel good about himself, but keep believing the rubbish that he believes. Okay, that's all for now. Thank you very much for watching. Bye for now.